So anyways, like I said, tonight I'm going to talk about getting off of the freaking carousel of being almost there, okay? And this is going to be like a pretty intense conversation because we just had this conversation on Monday, but it's going to be a little bit different because I have even more stuff to add to it and compare to it. Like today I was sitting on my couch and I was journaling out like I do every day, and I was like writing about, you know, what my life looks like energetically, what I'm calling into my life. And whenever I do that, it just like puts me in a place where it just like flows out and it goes onto the paper, and I'm just like, okay, this is actually happening. And then it does. So that's what I want to happen for you guys. But there's a little thing that stops so many people, and just like we talked about on Monday, I'm not sure if it was this past Monday or the Monday before because like time is totally irrelevant to me. I just kind of like show up whenever I feel like it, and if I have, you know, things that I need to do, what is it called? A commitment. If I have commitments, then I show up for that too. But like, I just, whenever I have a message to share, I just share it. And so anyways, I'm just going to talk about this. What I made a huge investment today, and that's why I'm like, I think that's why I'm so amped up, is because I know that whenever I make investments, like I always make back like 10 times more right away. I know that I could raise my set point. I could raise my set point to say that I made like 50 times more, 100 times more, or whatever. But like I know and feel and believe and just like I just feel it that 10 times more right away is like what I always can do for sure. And what I was talking about is really funny that Zoe is like the I'm going to tell you the story about Zoe in just a little bit, but what I am going to talk about right now is like why people don't invest in themselves and in their business and in their mindset. Like I said, we already talked about this on Monday, but this is just so crazy because it's like a pattern that I just keep seeing, and I see it in so many fucking people. Like so many people always want to know about stuff, and then they will chicken out and they'll give an excuse, or they'll like let the fear take over, and it's just crazy and it's ridiculous because that's one of the main reasons why you're not making money. It's just the truth. Like, it's just the truth. If you will not invest in your business and in your mindset, why would other people want to invest in you, right? And you know it. Like, you can feel it. You know that you don't feel good enough. You don't feel like enough of anything. You don't really believe that you're worthy, and other people can sense that. You don't feel like other people believe that your skills are worthy because you don't think other people are worthy of getting paid for their skills either. It is a totally fucked up mindset. And then there's like a ton of different reasons why a person might not want to invest, and like why they actually don't invest. And one of them is what I just talked about. And another one, this is like what keeps you on the carousel. And this is what I'm talking about tonight, is getting off of that carousel. But I want to talk first about like why you're on it, why you're not making money, why you're not making like investments in yourself, why you're not making investments in your mindset. And it's like that you don't actually believe that you can get the results, or the person can get the results for you or with you or whatever. And what most likely is going on is that like you're scared shitless about being in the end result. You're scared to get the result that you desire, right? And that's why you stay on the carousel. Or you know that you can get the result if you invest, and then it will become real. And then you'll have to face the actual success, right, that you want. And you want like the validation and freedom. That's what you think that you want, and somehow you actually won't want it because you just don't. And you still think that money is like the root of all evil or something, and like that's why you won't let yourself get rich, or that rich people are shitty people and that they have to do shitty things to get that money. It's like really deep inner stuff that's going on, but this is like why people would stop themselves from being successful. Like another thing, like, yeah, they just like don't realize that it's the push. It's like that's what you're chasing. It's totally crazy. I had somebody tell me today that I love her to death, but she said that she has too much going on, that she can't commit. And I didn't ask. Like, she just, volunteered the information, which is great. Like, thank you for letting me know. But if you think that you have too much going on, if getting to your end result is the most important thing to you, then it's actually not a priority, right? Your goal is not your priority. You just say that it is, because going for it makes you special. The grind and like never really truly arriving to where you want to be fully in yourself, like that is more of a priority than actually arriving. If you have the opportunity for somebody to kick you in the ass into the real you and get the real results that the real you can get from like ease and flow and from your soul, like maybe it's even that you're afraid to show the true you. And if the true you is like out in the world, you won't be safe anymore, right? What are you afraid of happening if you were able to become all of you? If you were just to become all of you, if you just decided right now, like, I'm just going to show all of me to the world right now for the rest of my life, all of me, all the time, right? What is so scary about that? Like really identify this. And you guys, like, if you're not taking notes for this, like, definitely take notes, because there's mindset stuff that you can journal about all littered through this whole live stream. It's going to be a lot of stuff that even if you only take away a certain thing that is the journaling from it or whatever, like, you will be able to get to that next level, that you will be able to step off of the carousel, okay? So just really think about that. Like, what am I afraid of happening if I was to become my full self, my authentic self? If I was to put my success as a priority and like my end result and be in that end result, like, what would happen? Like, what am I afraid of happening there, right? So sometimes people will feel like they're afraid to make more money than their family. It would make their family feel bad, or that they wouldn't receive love the same way. One of my clients, we just talked about this yesterday, and I'm sitting on my foot and now it's going numb. We just talked about this yesterday, and it like took a while to come to this aha moment, but like, the relationship dynamic would not be the same. Like, we've talked about this a million times, that something new came up yesterday. And it was just amazing to see, like, the stuff that we hide and the stuff that we justify and the stuff that we rationalize. It is insane. So really just ask yourself, are you afraid of trusting the transformation or the transformed version of you, okay? If you saw my Manifest Now, even if you can't video, you already know that if you don't have what you want, if you don't already have it, it's because you actually don't even want it, right? Like, you want something else, and you're making the choice not to have it. So, like, where are you making the choice not to have what you want? Just admit it. This is what I want you to get out of this, is like, for you to just admit it. Like, you don't have to come up with excuses. You don't have to come up with, like, reasons why you can't invest in yourself, right? You just need to admit that you don't want to change, because that's really what it's all about, is that, like, you don't want to change. And it's never about the money. It's really never about the money. We can get money. We can like, there's so many people in here that manifested me actually making 3 tiers to the Wild Rebel program, because I wanted everybody to be able to get a chance to get in there, even if it wasn't one-on-one, right? Like, you guys manifested that. I'd never do that. Like, I never change my prices after I put them out, or, change my program after I put them out. Like, this is, I don't know. It's, the next question is, where are you just making the choice not to have what you want in your life? Where are you making the choice to stay on that carousel and just admit it? That's it. Like, this is what this whole thing is about, just like admitting that you just don't want it the way that you think you want it. And this is probably going to piss some people off, but it is a perfect example of the video that I made on Monday. And I'm only telling you guys this because I fucking love you and I believe in you, and I just think that you need to see how goddamn ridiculous it is from another point of view for ourselves. And I do this too. Like, I sometimes will do it. I used to do it a lot too. And that's why I'm sharing it with you, because like, once you get over this hurdle, once you start to realize that, like, holy crap, that's why I'm scared shitless to invest, is because I actually don't want the thing that I think that I want. I would rather stay safe. I would rather have this or that or whatever. That's what I really want you guys to grasp this. And I want you to understand how you feel when people ask you for information about whatever you're doing, and they say, like, you give them the information and then they say, like, oh, I can't afford it, or I don't think I have time, or whatever. This is a perfect example of what I was talking about on Monday. People go crazy and they're all like, hell yes, I'm totally doing this or doing that. And like, I never believe somebody's going to do something until they actually do it, because this is like the pattern. Like I said, on the live stream last time, was that it's like the kiss of death. Like, whenever somebody fucking like does that on my videos, they're like, hell yes, I'm in, or whatever. Like, most of the time, like 99% of the time, they ghost. Like, they'll just totally ghost. Like, they'll ask for the information, and then they'll get the information, and then they'll let fear kick in, and then they'll make an excuse like, I don't have the money, or, you know, I don't have the time, or whatever, and then they'll just like ghost. And then they'll always come back though, but it's like months later, and they're in the same place or in an even worse place because they didn't have the money, or they weren't willing to get the money to make it work, or they, I don't know, they just like, they say that they're going to manifest it, right? And like, if this is you, I've been there too. Like, don't feel bad. Like, I'm just saying this because like, you need to see, like, you say you're going to manifest something, but really, are you going to manifest it? Like, you say you're going to manifest it. How's that working for you? Like, it's never because you don't have the money. It's never because you don't have the time. And if you don't actually have the money in your account, like right this second, that doesn't matter. If you decide to do something anyways, shit will always appear for you. Believe it and decide to be supported by the universe. It's always because you're choosing not to have the money. It's because you are choosing it. Okay? And once you admit to yourself that you're actually choosing this, you can free yourself to see what's really going on. So why are you choosing it? And every time also, you guys, if you're saying like stuff like, I don't have the money, every time you say that, like, that's what you're manifesting. You don't actually go and manifest the money. Like I said, like, how is that working for you? It doesn't work like that. Whenever you say, I don't have the money or I don't have the time, in fact, I know how to make time expand. And so I never have to say I don't have time for this or that anymore. I don't ever have to say I don't have the money for this or that anymore, right? I already talked about this. Hey, who else is on, you guys? I'm going to read your comments in a minute, Sharissa, just on a little kick here. But like I already said, like, I don't ever lower my program prices, but I did create 3 levels of this program this time so that anybody who wanted to do it could actually afford it and be able to, I'll be able to accept way more people because there's going to be less people getting one-on-ones, and because I know the power of what's flowing through me right now, and I have that connection to you right now in this moment, and it's flowing forth like from me, but not for me. Like, it's not coming, I'm not saying this for me. Like, I don't need to convince myself, and I don't need to convince you. All that needs to happen with you is recognizing, like, what part of this is your truth, because it's going to be a cycle. It's going to be the carousel. Again, I literally did not have the money to invest in coaching. The first time I invested in coaching, I was like $197 for 6 months, and it was like a group program. And I did not have that money, but I decided that I had to do it anyways because my soul was calling me, and I was scared shitless because if I didn't make that money back, we weren't going to be able to pay the rest of our bills, and it was only $197, right? My first investment into coaching, and I was terrified, but I just did it. I just decided to leap and trust that the bridge would just appear underneath me. And as I took each step, freaking did. Like, it just appeared. The next step just appears, and I didn't care what it took because it was my priority. Like, I had to make it work. Like, it's what I'm meant to do. It's what I'm put here to do. And I had to really get into alignment with myself and decide, like, am I going to stay afraid of investing in myself and letting people help me and putting myself out there for the world to see and being visible and sharing my truth? Am I going to put that on the back burner and possibly cause several people to never be able to come into their truth? Several people have been able to get off of drugs, to stop drinking if that's what they wanted to do. But like the same thing, drugs and drinking, been in like terrible broken marriages and left their marriages, have been able to make more sales in a week than an entire 6 months. There's all kinds of results. Like, there's all kinds of amazing things that happen. It's so much activation, overcoming eating disorders, like tons of stuff happening with this work. And it's deeply, like, if I hadn't stepped into that, there's so many people that wouldn't have come across like certain information, wouldn't have had shifts in their lives, wouldn't have been on the path to, you know, like leaving businesses that were not aligned for them at all, but they were just using it as like, a scapegoat, right? Like, that wasn't their sole purpose, but they saw a way to make money. But now they're able to like fully step into what their purpose work is and what they're supposed to do, and they're aligned to it. And I think about that all the time. Like, if I hadn't done this, how many people would still be out there just kind of like flailing around and just trying to make it work, right? So whenever you become, like, whenever you're really asking yourself, like, I need to level up, or I need to get off of this carousel, but I'm terrified, think about the people whose lives you're supposed to affect, right? You just have to believe it, and you just have to keep going, and you have to keep putting your money where you want it to grow and where you want it to multiply, right? But if you don't believe that that's available to you, then you have got to admit it. You have to surrender this, okay? And this is exactly, again, what I was talking about on Monday. People who say that they're going to join programs on live videos, they're all gung-ho, and they never do. It's the kiss of death, right? Hell yes turns into a holy shit no, because you get hyped up on the energy, and then whenever you're on your own for 5 minutes, you start believing your own fear. And you can't get back to that hell yes place until you're on like another video. And this is why investments are important, because you can get content from like people, like you can get amazing content from people for free, but unless you're working with somebody consistently and having that like pumped into you and having them activate you like consistently for a certain period of time until like success becomes a habit for you, then like that's what it's always going to be like. You're not going to be able to press the fucking button to make the investment that you need to make for your business, for your life, because you're so scared of what's going to happen after that, because you're so used to not being able to be supported, not being fully supported and loved and held by anyone or anything. And it's so obviously why people, including myself, need that ongoing support, right? That amps you up, that gets you through the shit, that you stop living the self-imposed prison. And there's another thing it separates like hobby entrepreneurs from like soul purpose entrepreneurs. And that's because like we don't hesitate on our decisions. We're either a yes or a no, and we make the decision quickly. We either find a way to make it work or we don't. And whatever's a priority to us in that moment wins. There's no like maybe or like I'm going to try to do it or anything like that. It's a yes or a no. And that becomes a habit. It's a pattern of saying yes to life. And I mean, like, are you in a pattern of saying yes, or are you in a pattern of hesitating on what you want? Because either way, you can break the pattern. It's going to have to come from experiencing the uncomfortable feelings of making the decisions and making the choices. And you're just going to have to feel the fear of doing it, going through the motions. You're going to feel the fear anyway. I mean, you're going to feel the fear and you're going to do it anyways. And this is how you alchemize fear. It gets to totally transmute whenever you go against it and you do something new. You create a new set point for yourself, and you get to see that. You get to see through the illusion. It's crazy. Hi, Jamie. That's what I'm learning. Decided to be supported by the universe. That's what's up. sometimes when the most is going on is when we need the work the most. I've noticed this big time through my toughest and busiest times in my life. I literally propel me into mindset. Yeah, exactly, Sharissa. Like, exactly, dude. Funny, I was just reading about this. We're constantly telling ourselves I'm unworthy, I'm unlovable. Holds back a lot, or just like you're saying, the fear sets in. Yeah, totally. It does. Like, it's the stories that we're playing in our head over and over and over again that tell us I'm unlovable, that I don't deserve this and all that. And that's another reason why you might be like holding back from making investments in yourself, is because like you don't really think that you deserve the result, right? Like you don't really think that you deserve any of this, but you think that you do deserve to like grind and like hustle on something that really doesn't align with you, but you do align with like the hustle, because it's like the going for it. It's like the getting there part is like what's so fun for you. It's the journey, and it's the drama of the whole thing of just like always being the one who has to like work for it. And like, I work hard, like that's something to fucking be honored or something. Like, yeah, it's great that you work hard. It's great that you're disciplined, but like that isn't the whole point of it. Like the whole point of it is to work hard doing something that you love and receiving whatever it is that you want in your life with total ease, right? So through all of that stuff that like even you guys are just seeing, like saying like that you're starting to see through the illusion. So what is the other illusion? What are the other illusions that you need to see through in your life right now? And why haven't you just admitted it so far that you don't want to change, right? Why haven't you admitted that you don't believe that you can actually be in your end result, or that you don't think that you deserve the end result and the tangible success that comes along with, you know, the whole, like, it is not just being joyful and spiritual and all this stuff, like the tangible results, like being able to work with people who like light you up, and being able to have money in the bank to do whatever you want and make any investment that you want. Like, what are you going to surrender to? Are you going to surrender to your fear and let it keep holding on to you and keeping you on the carousel? Or are you going to finally surrender to the thing that you desire, your end result, your success? Are you going to surrender to that and just say, look, I'm ready. I'm going to give up whatever I have to give up, whatever mindset blocks are like there telling me that I can't do this, or that I shouldn't do this. Whatever it is that's making me feel unsafe, like I'm just going to have to release it. Like, what are you going to surrender to? And it can come sooner for you. Like, it can come a lot sooner for you if you do the surrender process to all of the things that are holding you back. Whenever you do admit that you just really don't want it that much, like you don't want it more than you want to hustle, and like more than you want to like, I don't know really the right word for it, but it's like just doing the grind. Like, that's what you want more. Just admit it. Like, once you admit that, the success that you want actually can come sooner. And whenever you see like how ridiculous it is that you're like actually afraid of these things, that your body's responding to these things in a way that's like, if I do this, I'm gonna die. Like, your body really does respond that way. It's the fight or flight response, and it really does feel like you're gonna die. There was a post that I made a few weeks ago, and I was so scared to post it. I was like shaking. It was the one about the 10 Commandments. I was shaking. I was so scared to post that post, but like, I felt my body flooding with like this fear that I was actually about to lose my life, right? And that's never a fun thing. So just it can come sooner if you do this, right? So I want you to really, really just go ahead and just admit it to yourself. I don't want it. And I'm just going to be okay with that. I don't believe that I can do it. I don't believe that I can get a result. I'm just going to sit with this for a little while. I don't believe that I'm supported by the universe, right? Or by God or whatever. And you can even tap while you're saying that stuff. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I don't believe that I can have this. I don't believe that I'm supported. I don't even want it. I'm actually okay with never having it. I don't believe that I can do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want the end result. I don't want to experience that. I don't want to experience all the pain that comes with it. Because money equals pain. Like, that's all money is. Like, everybody with money is like an asshole, or whatever your money beliefs are. Like, just sit with it and tap on it and get it out of you. Because once you can see through the delusion, there are some major, major shifts that can happen in your life. Whenever you get through the delusion that this is like truth, you can start to have the success that you deserve and the success that you consciously want, the thing that you chose, that your inner beings, like your ego and like your saboteur and your inner child and stuff, are afraid of. They're afraid of it. And you know your subconscious is like making like 99% of your decisions for you anyways. So they're the ones you need to talk to. They're the ones that you need to honor. You basically need to honor that, like, hey, I understand that you don't feel safe right now, but like, this is what we're fucking doing, right? And I know that the people who are watching this or that are watching the replay are the exact people that need to be watching it, because I was that person. Like, my energy called you in, and I know this struggle. Nobody who's not going through this is going to watch this video. It's this delusion that you want success, but you're just really wanting the drama of pushing, and you never quite get there, and you're living in a fantasy land, and you're doing things that don't actually matter, and it's just distracting you from the things that your soul is crying out for. It's the completion. It's the wholeness. So just admit it. Just admit that you're obsessed with the idea of getting there more than you are of being there. And that you wouldn't actually know what to do with yourself after you get those first few breakthroughs, and you'd rather have the comfort of being in that less desirable place. And you've already built it. You've already been there for a while. Like, you're comfortable there. You already know what that's like, right? And you're okay with that. Seriously, this sounds totally counterintuitive. It sounds totally counterproductive, but I'll tell you, like, this is how I've had massive breakthroughs in my life. This is how I've had massive breakthroughs in my money. And you don't have to keep wondering, and you don't have to keep searching for the answers. You just have to decide that you found the answer. And whether that's with me or if it's with somebody else, I really don't care. I would love, love, love for every single person in this group to like want to work with me, but that's just not the truth. That's not, I mean, not everybody in here is my soulmate clients, and I'm not everybody's like soulmate coach, right? So it doesn't matter who you work with, but do yourself a favor and stop making excuses for yourself, right? It's going to just keep you going down this long, hard road, all right? But if you do decide that you want to work with me, I will help you find your answers. I will help you find that magic that is inside of you, that's already inside of you. You just have to decide to trust. And you actually have to do what you do, like that, what you want to do. Anything, like you need to, if you're getting a feeling to do it, even if it's like totally terrifying, you need to do it anyways. Because whenever you own that, your level of success becomes like massive. You need to own all of the things that you're afraid of. I keep on getting messages. It's been one of the biggest things that's helped me. Yeah, Jamie, you've come so fucking far, dude. Seriously. I think that was the biggest thing for me, was admitting to myself my thoughts, and whatever happens, happens. Yeah, just let it happen. Yeah, that's true. You guys just like, I mean, it's all just fear. It's all just fear programming. It's just programming. And like, you can reprogram. But again, like, you need to stop like just searching for the answers and looking everywhere and looking at all of the free content and trying to find your breakthroughs through that. And again, it's the consistency. It is like actually having someone hold you accountable and call you on your shit and say, I don't think that that's really like what's going on here. Like, you might be trying to guard yourself a little bit, and you might not really want to tell me the truth about what's going on. Like, so what's really happening? That's like what investing in your mindset is all about. It's critical. You don't know the things that that you can do whenever your mindset is in alignment. So you got to get over your fears of investing, your fear that money will not just reappear or appear for you out of nowhere, fear that you might go into more debt, or fear that your husband isn't going to want you to do it, even if it means it's going to be a better life for you and for him, and you're going to be like, you're going to be experiencing this whole new way of living. And that also might be another reason why you might be afraid of investing, is because like if your whole dynamic changes with yourself, that means that your whole dynamic is going to pretty much change with your family, with your husband, with your parents, with your sisters or brothers or whatever. The whole dynamic changes, and that could be something that keeps people from actually getting to the next level. And you don't even realize it unless you're having someone like sitting there telling you like, hello, can you really not see that? And that's the fucked up thing, is that we really can't. Like, even myself, it's hard for me to catch certain things for myself. But that's another thing I want to teach you, how to do your own mindset work so that you're not constantly having to lean on somebody to like show you what's happening. Like, yes, it's always a great idea to continue to invest in somebody once you've built that relationship, but you can do the vast majority of this stuff on your own once you get the bulk of it out of the way. Unless you're going for like another huge up level, maybe you're already making $50,000 a month or something, and you want to go to like $200,000 a month. Like then you would, or like even, you know, an extra 50,000, whatever. Like if you're already doing a high number and you've already done like mindset work to clear out all of this stuff, and you're already making a fuckload of money, then, and $50,000 a month actually isn't even that much, but if you're already doing that, then you aren't going to have these same problems. You're not going to need the same kind of mindset coaching. So it's always up leveling. Like you're always going to need someone to help you up level, because your brain only can think like how it can think. And it's easier for us outside of each other to see into each other's lives and see like, oh, this is actually happening. I wonder if she can see it. And then it's up to like the mindset coach to be a little bit sneaky about it and ask certain questions that the subconscious won't try and trick you or me, right? So like I said, it's super, super critical. Popping on while I have a minute before my wine date. What? So cool. Thanks for coming on, Jennifer. Okay. Are you guys getting this? Like, does this make sense? It's really important too. It's really fucking important that you're investing in your mindset, especially if you didn't grow up with money. If you didn't learn how to handle money, right? You'll end up making a whole bunch of money and then you'll blow it, or you'll never become too much farther ahead than like what your safe place is, okay? And we want to raise that set point. We want to raise that safe place to where it's next level. Like that's the whole point of this. It doesn't just come overnight either. It comes from making decisions. It comes from making decisions like this, like investing in yourself and taking risks and trusting yourself and knowing that you're supported and trusting your soul and the importance of what you're here to do. Even if you don't really know exactly what that is yet, it comes from trusting that you're supported and allowing yourself to be supported, and not just by God, but by other people too. So I'm just going to ask, like, what are you choosing today? Are you going to choose you today in some way, right? Like, however, it's already night, but like, if you haven't chose you today, what I'm saying is, are you going to invest in Wild Rebel Rising? Or are you going to invest with another coach, which is totally fine. Like, if you feel called to that, then do it. But like, if you're scared of investing and you're making excuses for yourself, I want you to be able to choose for yourself today to make that decision. Like I said already too, like you can watch all of the free content that you want. You can get all of the transformation that you want that comes in that split second and that moment. But like, what about the long term? What about whenever you go by yourself and you start to freak out and you're like, gosh, I can't get through this, and you go through a funk for like 2 months, right? What about that? And it's totally different too. Like the level at which I deliver content is different at a paid level too, because the energy exchange allows my soul to open up more. Like it's not, I give you guys like my all. on free, like on the free content, on live videos. Like I give you my all that's available without an exchange of energy, because it's really just me giving the information, and what I get back is I get to see you guys have aha moments, and I get to see you shift, and it shows me that like what I do is very important, obviously, but there's no like physical exchange of like my services for money, tangible, like energetic exchange, right? So the next level is like in paid programs and stuff. What flows through me is something that's totally different than what flows through me here. So that's what I said on the landing page, is like, if you get moved by my free content, like you're going to be transformed forever from this program. So are you going to get off of your carousel? Like, are you going to get off of your carousel today? We're starting on Monday. Like, it's really, really close. We're starting on Monday. So if you want to get the results, then do it. And if you don't want to get the results, and you want to stay there for a little bit longer, then just do it. Like, stay there for as long as you want to, but it's not like, if it's not what you want, then do something about it. I'm not going to run this program again for the way that I ran it this time. Like, I wanted to just give you guys the option of doing it no matter what. Like, the lowest option is like $177 a month for 3 months. I went down from $2,200 to like just the program for 6 weeks, no one-on-ones or anything, down to $495 or 3 payments of $177. And like, then there's a plus package, and then there's a VIP package, and you can choose whichever one you want. But the important thing is that like, you stop holding back from investing in your mindset because you're afraid of what you're going to find, right? I don't care about the money. Like, money does not make me happy. It really doesn't. Like, it helps a little bit to be able to do things, obviously, to do things that I want, buy stuff, go places, but it is not what I care about. Because whenever I realized that I had been putting my faith in that when the money comes, I'll be happy or whatever. Like, I had been putting my faith in that being the truth, and it never happened. Like, the money came, and I was fucking miserable because I had been putting all of this hope on money that didn't deliver this sort of feeling. Like, it's not a thing that can make you feel happy. Like, I don't care about the money, but I do need some sort of exchange of energy to be able to deliver next level. And you do too. You need to be able to exchange your energy for somebody else's energy to be able to get the kind of energy that will take you out of your shit, that will activate you. And that's what this is all about. This Wild Rebel Rising isn't just about what you're going to learn here. It's about being in the energy of people that are activated and that are continued to be turned on over and over and over and over all the time over a 6 weeks period, to where it is your new normal. This is like what's natural to you. This is what your new is. Like, you will always have this soul tribe. And if you cannot come up with the minimum of 177, like I said, if I did that 197, whenever I did that, if I didn't make that back, then we were going to not be able to pay our bills, like at least 2 or 3 bills. Right? Like, if you can't come up with 190 or 177, just admit that, like, you don't want to. Like, you don't have to make excuses for yourself and then keep on manifesting the idea that, like, I don't have money. Like, you don't have to keep manifesting that. Just say, I don't want it. Right? Stop fooling yourself. Stop trying to convince or fool other people. Like, it's not working. So, yes. People, like I said, might get mad at me for saying some of this stuff, but I don't care. Like, it needs to come through, and like, the truth needs to be said. So, yeah, you might be doing like okay in your business, but if you're not like making what you want to make, or if you're not making anything, whatever you're doing in your business is definitely not from your soul. It's not out of flow, and it's not easy. It's hustle, and it sucks, and that's why you're constantly looking for answers. So if this video didn't speak to you, then ignore it. Or if those people probably clicked off a long time ago, but if you know in your heart that this is true, then like, I want to invite you to do something about it, because I didn't for a long time. I was really afraid to invest for a long time, because I thought that if I learned stuff or if other people helped me have breakthroughs, then I wouldn't have been doing it by myself. And that was really important for me to figure this all out by myself. But that was just my pride, right? And then once I invested, it was like, boom, there we go. And now I continue to invest. And it's great. Like, investing is an energetic exchange that works not just for the person that you're paying, but it also allows money to flow into your life even more. It's crazy. Even whenever I'm paying a bill online, or if I'm paying at the grocery store or something, I always say whenever I'm paying, I love spending money because it always comes back to me 10 times, like, immediately. And it's just what I expect money to do. So anyways, I'm going to get going because these lights are fucking killing me. Let me see what your comments say here. I can't love this enough. Yes, I need to be coached. I feel like I've taken myself as far as I can with mindset. Yeah. So very important. You've made such an amazing impact on my life. I'm grateful for it. Yeah, I'm really excited for that, Jamie. Hi, Katie. I'm just not getting off because these lights are like super duper hot and I've been like flailing around like a crazy person. And now I'm going to go take off my clothes and dance again. All right, I'll see y'all later.